We are at the first stop here at Værnedamsvej, originally named from the innkeeper Værnedam. And why an innkeeper, and when was it named? It was named back in 1750, and an innkeeper because this was the street of inns. And today it is the street of cafes, a little cozy shopping street that is so iconic of the cozy Copenhagen, a true pearl of shopping hygge. You will find a cozy little flower shop that has some great arrangement. You will find a little cheese shop that is definitely worth a visit. They have some delicatesses there that are definitely worth trying out, and you will find a lot of cafes, maybe even for brunch before heading for the next stop. So let's just take a quick look at the street and head for the next stop. Okay. And we're here at our second place worth seeing. It is called Gammel Kongevej in Danish, which actually translates into the Old King's Road, and was founded for Christian IV, who wanted a private road to Roskilde. Yeah, he wanted his own road, not to be, well, stopped by peasants. So he got this private road. Back then this was all farmland. There wasn't the big, well, apartment blocks you will see today, but they come up over time, and with them comes the reason you will walk down this street instead of any other. It is because of the sheer amount of shops there are on this street, and it is also here you will find a lot of specialty stores, so make sure you keep your eyes open, and I will head down and see if I can spot any of them for you before we reach our next grander point. So let's head on there and see some more of Frederiksberg. March 21st, 1945, bombers are away over Jutland. They move towards Copenhagen, and as they reach Copenhagen, they start their bomb run. Unfortunately, they hit the French school, and that is what this sculpture is all about. It's a commemoration for the bombing of the French school in Copenhagen. A sad occasion, and this is exactly 70 years ago today when I'm recording this. Although it's a sad story, yes, the story about the people who rose up after they have experienced this is a story of life. So sadness turns into life, and that is what we must remember when we stand at sculptures like this. And it's of course located on Frederiksberg, the parallel street to Gammel Kongevej we were on before. We've just moved over here. On the way here we went past a bunker that shows an entire film about it, but only in Danish. So yeah, unfortunately. But the commemoration site is definitely worth going past, and just remember that even in the final hours of World War II there was still tragedy happening. And let's head for the next point. At the end of Frederiksberg Alley, you will find the Frederiksberg Runddel round part, translated into English. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But it is a big square, and this square in the winter has an ice ring that is definitely worth coming by to try out. And in the summer, it is a place of life, a bustling life. And in one corner we have the beautiful Frederiksberg Church, an octagonal Dutch-inspired church. It's special in the way that it is octagonal. The inside is not big and special, but it is definitely worth a visit. Then we have the Museum of Satire and Comedy right next to the church, just across the street. Other than that, this is the main entrance for the Frederiksberg Garden. I'll return to that because I have something more special to show you before we reach that point. So make sure you stay tuned to see something about the Frederiksberg Garden. And let's head on because we have to walk up that way. Right now we have reached the heart of Frederiksberg. And how do I know that? Well, because I'm at the City Hall. Yes, you would believe this is part of Copenhagen. No, this is the City Hall of Frederiksberg. And it's not just a City Hall, it's a symbol of independence. It's a symbol of collectiveness, and yet it's a symbol of not being part of Copenhagen, because Frederiksberg has the special thing that it is a municipality inside the municipality of Copenhagen, which makes it quite special because it has enough inhabitants to be one municipality for itself. But it also makes some of the rules different. You will not see it as a tourist, but for example, parking your car, well, it will cost half as much as least here in Frederiksberg than it costs in Copenhagen. So there are benefits to them being an individual part. But that was the symbol of the City Hall, and then you know you're in the middle of the Frederiksberg municipality, which means we should be in the middle of this video. You can see in the timeline if we are, because I don't think we are, but I don't know yet. So let's move on and see what else there is of interesting things you just need to visit here in Frederiksberg. Right down here at the Frederiksberg Mall, the Frederiksberg Center is called in Denmark, we have the food trucks, and I promise you I will return and try them out if you remember to click that subscribe button, because I need a little more subscribers before I can get some money out of this channel to pay for things like that. So remember to subscribe and I'll return and try to taste it. But for now, let's head for the next place, and if you are walking the same trip as I am and need some lunch, it's a good place. We can't say Frederiksberg without saying Frederiksberg Garden. The Frederiksberg Garden, the beautiful castle garden belonging to the Frederiksberg Castle right behind me. The Frederiksberg Castle was built for King Frederick IV. And it has a very rich history, and it is very rarely open. If you want me to make a complete history guide to the Frederiksberg Castle, please comment down below. But basically, this is the place you want to be in the summer. It is a beautiful lawn where you can have a picnic. You can just go over to the Frederiksberg Center, just up to the small side street we started with, and buy yourself the picnic you want. Take it here, enjoy it while you enjoy the good weather. And in the summertime, I promise you, this lawn is filled with people, but there's also room for new people, so there will be room for you. And let's head on and see what else Frederiksberg has to offer. Right behind Frederiksberg Castle you will find the beautiful Baroque-inspired garden of Søndermarken, or Southern Field, roughly translated into English. Over here you will find a special museum I will return to visit in another day. You know what to do if you want information when that comes online. But for now, know that the Baroque garden here, or the Baroque inspired garden, because it's not an entirely truly Baroque garden, it's just inspired by it with a Danish touch. But you will also find a Chinese house, a Norwegian house, and it is definitely worth spending some time walking around the beautiful Søndermarken. And before we head to the next point, I will do so myself. A visit to Frederiksberg is not complete without a visit to the Hill House, this house right behind me. And why should you visit this house? They have their own museum. It's a beautiful museum that is definitely worth a visit. And it's the oldest preserved house on Frederiksberg. There's no older house in the entire municipality of Frederiksberg. And if you want to get smarter on travel on Copenhagen, then check out this video right here, where I come with ever so great tips for you. So I'll be seeing you right over there.